So what up and welcome to today's masterclass. This is our AAC, our Athlete Ascension Community, where we're all about taking athletes to their next level. Too many of our athletes are just operating in regular growth mode, and they're just operating passively and allowing things to happen rather than going out and getting into go mode and making things happen. And that's what our weekly mindset masterclass is here to accomplish. So if you're here, you're in the right place and in the right space. And we're going to get going right away today because we're talking all about how you can stay hungry as a high school athlete, how you can contain and continue to be on point and engaged in every single workout. Why is this necessary? Because so many of you are gifted. So many of you are given. So many of you are blessed with so many things that you don't even recognize that you're turning your engagement off. You're turning your brains off from time to time. It's like the person who lives next to the beach. They don't even have a love and a wonder for the beach anymore. The person that lives next to the monuments in Washington doesn't even recognize their significance. Or the person that lives next to the mountains in Colorado is often lost on them, the majesty of those mountains. You all, as high school athletes, are given so much, and you're more gifted and more skilled than ever before, than we were in past generations, than your parents were, than your grandparents were. But along with every gift comes a curse. And if I could enumerate one curse that comes along with being given so much, is that you often lack appreciation. You often lack awareness. You often lack an understanding of how to engage and how to be your best self every single day. Not take any training, not take any practice, not take any games for granted. And that's hard, right? Because you all are always playing. For instance, as a high school athlete in the summers, I probably played 20 games a summer, 30 games a summer. Many of you all have been playing 100 games a summer since 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. So there comes a complacency, and there is a skill of being hungry, of being, of having want to, and having that dog every single time you step out on the court is a skill. And you know what? We've seen that skill. We've seen that skill here on display at the Olympics. This Olympic Games for men's and women's basketball was some of the best basketball we have seen ever, especially on the Olympic level. I mean, we're going against three-time MVPs from other countries. We're going against the next face of the league in Victor Wembanyama. We are going against pros and all-stars like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jamal Murray, and so many great players and NBA role players that we're having to play against the highest level that the world has ever had to offer. And you know who was on display? You know who was the star of all stars within this great display of basketball? It was Steph Curry, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant. And why is that? Even though they're the oldest, even though they're the most accomplished, it's because they're the most hungry. Their hunger remains ravenous, even at the age of 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, even though they've been involved in the highest levels of basketball since their teenage years. You're talking about going on 30 years. It's unheard of, but their hunger is evident. And today we want to talk about how you, even as a high school athlete, can remain hungry. One of the most important things about the Olympics, or one of the most impressive things rather, was that LeBron James was named not only the MVP by his teammates of the practice sessions in Vegas, but also was named MVP of the entire men's basketball Olympic championship at the age of, he's going on 40, which is crazy. This tells us that he was bringing it even to practices. We all have seen the famous quotes of Allen Iverson where he says, practice, practice. So we know that great players don't necessarily always have to practice, but we know that LeBron James is a great practice player. We've seen him, the social media vids of his workouts, of his weightlifting, of his conditioning, of his dunk workouts, jump plyometric workout. Like, this dude is hungry at all times. He is the epitome of being hungry. And today I want to give you 3 simple points to help you stay hungry as a high school athlete. Number 1, I need you to relive, okay? Relive is about reimagining what your goals are. Too many of us are operating without goals. And now we've fixated on goals for probably the last 3 or 4 weeks, but it's that important that you have to begin to develop what I call your distinct dream. You have to be doing this for a reason. Why am I harping on this? Because you're at a time in your lives where your parents have always dictated what you've done. And now you're getting the keys to the proverbial car so that you can drive in this life. You're getting the keys to your life, and you're getting to establish direction and determine where you want to go. I called my son the other day and he was like, I said, where are you? He said, I'm going to Chick-fil-A, or I'm going to Popeyes to get something to eat. And it's like, that must be nice to just get to determine where you want to go. I didn't necessarily know how I felt about that, but at the end of the day, I'm like, well, yeah, he's of age. He needs to be determining where, where he wants to go. And in that same vein, you all as high school athletes have to begin to determine where you want to go. Do you want to be an all-stater? Do you want to be a Division I college athlete? Do you want to be the best player or highest scorer on your team, the best defender or best rebounder or best assist maker on your team? Whatever the case may be, you have to begin to imagine that more often. I tell you guys all the time about developing think time, meditation, visualization, whatever it is that floats your boat. You have to begin to relive your dreams more often. Now, in addition to imagining, you have to ignite feelings of passion. One thing we see, and some of the most memorable moments from this Olympic run, was Steph and KD and LeBron yelling at the screen, hugging each other, dancing at practices. That's one of the reasons we love watching Anthony Edwards, because he ignites feelings. His emotions are on display. And you have to remember, as a high school athlete, sometimes we don't feel comfortable sharing our emotions, okay? Anytime you can connect an emotion to your goal, you're going to get there that much faster, a positive emotion, that is. And so whatever your goal is, it has to ignite a feeling of passion and emotion within you to get you up every day, to enliven you for every workout. For some people, it's earphones. For some people, it's about being in a certain setting or atmosphere or around other people. For some people, it's thinking about, maybe helping their mom or getting their dad or accomplishing something that's going to make their family proud. All of these things ignite emotions, and you're going to need emotion to stay hungry every single day. The other thing is you need to initiate some contact with your dream. And what I mean by this is, whatever that dream is, there's a gap between where your dream is and where you are. And in order to get there faster and stay connected with that dream, you need to make contact with it in some form or fashion. Maybe you want to be a college player, and for you, it's about getting tickets to a college game and sitting in the stands and being able to see and feel the atmosphere. Maybe it's watching a video of your favorite player or your favorite athlete or your favorite team or your favorite school, whatever the case may be. Maybe it's connecting with somebody who has accomplished that goal or somebody who has that same goal. Initiating contact is about staying in close touch in close proximity with those that have already done what you want to do. I remember when I wanted to become an athletic director, I began to hang around and associate in athletic director circles. I began to join different groups of athletic directors, committees. I signed up for committees. I went to conferences where I contacted my dream. I stayed in close contact with it. And that is something that's going to allow you to relive what your goals are daily and stay hungry every single day. The next thing I need you to do is, after you relive, begin to race, okay? Run as hard as you can every single day towards your goal. What does this look like? 3 things. Get a trainer. Get somebody who sees you, who can critique you. We just saw the Olympics, as I mentioned. Track and field was huge. And every single one of those athletes has a coach, has a trainer that's looking at every aspect of their run. Why is this important? Because we can't see ourselves. You can't see yourself running. You can't see the technique that you're using or where it's failing you. A trainer is someone, and it can be anyone. It could be a brother. It could be a friend. It could be obviously a paid trainer or a coach or a parent. It's somebody who can look into your life. And we're not just talking about basketball here. It's all being willing to accept all forms of instruction when someone's trying to help us get better. Getting a trainer is going to help you lift heavy weights faster. Okay. It's going to help you understand and get to your goal and develop a roadmap to get to that goal. The other thing is, get a tribe. Get a set of people that want what you want or operate how you operate. I saw some documentaries on the Olympic athletes training for the Paris Olympics. Not all of them have different runners or different Olympiads training with them at all times. Some of them go to their local run groups and walk clubs and local community tribes or community groups that are doing something similar, although it's not for the similar reason, not for the same reason. So maybe that person was training for the Olympics, but the people that they're running or walking with are just training to stay healthy. So you might not necessarily be around people that have your distinct goal, your distinct dream, but they're doing things that align with your dream. So a tribe is so important to get you to stay hungry, because sometimes we can depend on the hunger of others to propel us forward. Last thing I need you to do is get a trigger. Get a trigger. A trigger is something that intensifies your desire. It's something that triggers your emotional element, as we talked about earlier. It may be something that pisses you off or makes you mad and causes you to work harder. It may be something that inspires you and makes you sad and causes you to go deeper than you've gone before. Triggers may be, man, I didn't make that team and I'm upset about it. It may be, my older brother didn't make it and get to the college level. I'm going to make it. I'm not going to let my family down. It may be so-and-so said something bad about me and said I could never do that. I remember my friends in high school told me I would never be the caliber of player that Duke and Arizona and these other schools would want to recruit. And that just made me angry. That made me come to the gym every day with vigor and bring my presence to the gym in a way that was much more hungry than just coming to the gym because my parents or my coaches told me to. Lastly, in addition to reliving, in addition to racing, I need you to rest, okay? We're in August and September, and for basketball players, it's a great time to start to get rest. Even if you're watching this and maybe you're in the midst of the season or in the midst of your AAU season, you always got to make time for rest, even if it's one day a week, even if it's taking some time in the middle of a day between workouts and practices. You have to find time to literally kind of let go and let God. First and foremost, you got to relax, okay? Because even though we work as though it depends on us. We have to believe as though nothing depends on us, okay? As though it's out of our hands. And there's an element of your hunger that takes stepping away, okay? The other thing is to remember to recreate. Recreation is, or the word recreation is all about rewiring your viewpoints and your dew points as far as the things that you do on a daily basis. Sometimes it's great for me to drive a new way to work or to mix up my day in various ways. Maybe it's going to a party that you don't normally go to, or sitting with some friends you don't normally talk with, or reading a book that you don't normally, a topic you don't normally connect with. These things, this recreation, this ability to have fun and do things that are outside of our normal set of habits can allow you to come back to your grind with a new perspective. And that's our last point, is to, once you come back from your rest, redeploy, because I see so many people come back from resting and they're still tired. We start workouts and the first thing some kids say is, I had a long workout today, or, I just got back from a vacation and my calves are sore from walking and blah, blah, blah. No, when you get rest, actually rest. Take some time. Even if it's a short period, take some time to refresh your mind and understand that when I come back to my normal grind, I'm going to come back with a fresh perspective. This is the start of a new school year. You should be walking into those doors, walking into those practices, walking into those classrooms with a new perspective. You're a new person. You're not the same person you were 3 months ago. And so we have to remember to redeploy our energy, redeploy our goals, redeploy our intention in order to stay hungry. And so the last thing we're going to do is just get into our meditation minute here. And this is a time where we focus on just breathing and just thinking about what it is we just learned. We want to begin to see ourselves as hungry, having a new level of hunger, having a new ability to withstand pressure, withstand pain, and go beyond our normal limits, having a new ability to overcome the things about our grind that we don't like. Maybe it's a certain person, a certain coach, or a certain teammate. Maybe it's a certain team that we hate playing. And we're going to just have a hunger that pushes us past all that. We're going to relive our goals every day. We're going to race with trainers and tribes and triggers, and we're going to rest and recreate ourselves and continue to redeploy our efforts and return to our grind with so much more vigor, with so much more hunger, with so much more intensity. Whatever you guys do, remember that it is your mindset that will determine your trajectory, even more so than your grind set. So continue to fixate on the mental side of things. And I hope this helps you to continue to ascend and achieve great results. Thanks for watching.